All right, ladies and gentlemen of D-Class personnel, go ahead and sit down. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Commander and I'm going to be briefing you on the SCP you're about to go study. So what we're looking at today is SCP-6212, Object Class Euclid, Special Containment Procedures. Monitoring of the populace of Blackburn is ongoing, with particular attention paid to St. Mark's Church, Bunser Lane. The identification and/or capture of SCP-6212-A is considered a Gamma-level priority. Description: SCP-6212 refers to an extra-normal event that took place on January 4th, 2005 in Blackburn, Lancashire, United Kingdom. The event proceeded as follows. I'll go ahead and read this log here for you. Begin log 1045. A man designated POI 6212-01 sneezes inside the mall Blackburn, producing a notable quantity of grayish liquid of unknown composition. Music playing over PA speakers stops and the lights dim slightly as every other individual within the vicinity turns to look at the subject, silent and unmoving. Subject pauses, clearly taken aback before asking, "Well, won't someone say bless you?" Receiving no response, subject moves through the mall, requesting blessings from random persons while growing increasingly more frantic. Eventually, mall security forcibly removes subject from the premises as onlookers kneel and begin to consume the unknown liquid. At 10:54, subject appears visibly shaken, shouting at security personnel before leaving the area. Subject begins to accost passers-by, explaining again and again that he sneezed and no one has blessed him. Said individuals react similarly to those within the mall. Subject at one point backs into a waste receptacle and falls, spilling a quantity of unknown liquid, now clear instead of gray. Nearby civilians accost POI-1, pushing him out of the way so they can ingest the liquid. At 11:12, POI 6212-1 moves from downtown Blackburn in a southwesterly direction and at a more rapid pace to King Street, following it across Montague Street to the A674. Subject appears panicked and disoriented, stumbling frequently. Colorless liquid occasionally drips from beneath the subject's jacket. 11:24. Subject pauses at a street intersection to catch his breath. Colorless liquid pools in place at his feet. A passing jogger stops to ingest it. 11:33. Subject continues down the A674 at a slower pace, stopping at numerous businesses along the way, entering and asking for blessings. No individual in these businesses complies with these requests. Subject leaves small pools of liquid at each business upon exit, which are quickly ingested by customers and employees. At 11:45, subject increases his pace, leaking colorless liquid at a higher rate. Subject stops eventually at a Tesco Express, catching the attention of persons within. Subject is knocked to the ground and customers and employees rush outside to the various spots of liquid left in subject's wake. Subject hits his head on the pavement and remains still for 4 minutes before getting up and moving away. During this time, clear liquid leaks from the subject's head at a high rate. 11:51. Subject comes upon row of houses west of Garden Street and begins going door to door, knocking and asking for a blessing from anyone who answers. Residents react much as other civilians have to his presence. The doors are left stained with liquid, which is ingested by the residents. 12 o'clock. Subject becomes aware of the sound of church bells ringing the hour. Subject turns north up Rutland Street, going off-road through woods until running into River Blakewater, which necessitates diversion southwest. Status of liquid is unclear. 12:25. Subject arrives at St. Mark's Church on Bunser Lane and enters. Subject is shaking, panting, sweating, and excreting a constant stream of liquid from all parts of his body. Despite the church being inactive, the interior is clean and lighted. 12:30. Subject gains the attention of the church's sole occupant, an unidentified priest, designated 6212-02. 6212-01 explains the situation, repeating the phrase, "Bless me, Reverend, bless me." After an extended period of silence, 6212-02 replies, "I'm sorry, my son, but there can be no salvation for you." -1 appears visibly distraught, but further protestations have no effect. Subject collapses to the floor in apparent pain and stills. Over the next 8 minutes, subject's body melts into a pool of colorless liquid. Dash 2 watches, displaying no reaction to this event, save to say, "Farewell, Matthew." After which Dash 02 drops to the floor and consumes the puddle of liquid. End of log. Now, the above incident log was compiled via closed-circuit camera footage and first-hand accounts by numerous civilians. It should be noted that such individuals tended to display signs of confusion, doubt, and horror when confronted with their own actions while recalling the events of SCP-6212. An area-wide aerosolized amnestics drop was deemed the most effective way to effect treatment. This is Addendum Interview 6212-02.1. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to say POI 6212-02 every fucking time. This is get on with shit. I got things to do. Interview -2. Interviewer, Field Agent James Dawson, Site 97. Forward. Following compilation of the log of SCP-6212, an interview was arranged with the subject residing in St. Mark's Church, Blackburn. Begin log. Dawson. Thank you once again for giving up some of your valuable time for this, Reverend. -2. Not at all, Detective. How can I help you? Dawson. A few days ago, a man came in here asking to be blessed, which led to a rather unusual incident. You remember that incident? -2. No, I'm afraid. I do see many people and perform many blessings, after all. Could you perhaps be more specific? Dawson reveals some key points of SCP-6212-02, then fills in some details. This is in an incident log. Dawson. And you found nothing unusual or strange about this event? -02. Goodness. Now that you point it out, I have to wonder why I've said something like that to a man clearly in distress. And what demon could have possessed me to... -2. As I recall the events now, it's like recalling a dream. Yes, as I think upon it, the entire circumstance was more peculiar indeed, to put it lightly, very disturbing. I apologize, but I find I cannot account for my words or actions at all. And this only disturbs me further. Dawson, I see. Could you perhaps explain to me, postulate if you will, what might prevent someone from being able to seek salvation within the church? -2. Why, the very notion is preposterous. The Lord is willing to forgive all his children should they seek forgiveness. No act is so heinous that salvation is unattainable. It merely requires more effort for some to atone for their sins than others. Dawson, right. But imagine, if you will, an act so heinous, as you put it, that it truly is unforgivable. Unforgivable that not even the good Lord himself could find it in his heart to offer this poor bloke salvation. -2. Dear God. Dawson, what is it? -2. The mere act of contemplating such a sin? I must ask your forgiveness, Detective. You've rattled me to my core. A sin so vile that not even the Lord could forgive it? Such a thing should be impossible, and yet... Please excuse me, Detective. Dawson, of course, take your time. Now, Dawson allows -2 to depart the nave for an apse chapel in clear violation of standard field interview procedure. The agent waits 15 minutes for subject to reappear before ending the interview per standard field interview procedure. That's the end of the log. Now, closing statement. It was not until after Agent Dawson returned to Site 97 that it was discovered no one had thought to ask -2 his name or identity. Upon further questioning, the agent could not account for his actions during the interview, stating that it just felt natural to let the fellow have his space. The agent was given an informal reprimand for dereliction of duty, considering his otherwise commendable service record and the potential of anomalous effects interfering with his conduct. Follow-up attempts to locate -2 revealed that St. Mark's Church was, in fact, inactive and inaccessible. The interior was dark with no working electricity, despite it having been lit during the interview, and the floor was covered in dust and dirt with no markings indicating any recent human occupation. Agent Dawson later confirmed the interior of the church was significantly smaller than when he had interviewed -2, and that it was missing numerous ornaments and structural features that had been present during his previous visit. Site 97 called in mobile task forces from sister sites to conduct a manhunt for -2 with no success. All further attempts to identify -2 or determine its whereabouts or to account for the discrepancies regarding the interior of St. Mark's Church have met with failure. All right, here are the profiles for Dash 1 and Dash 2. Dash 1, name, Matthew Gregory Marston, age 29, gender male, place of residence, Blackburn, Lancashire, UK, skin color fair, hair color dark brown, occupation, secondary school physical education teacher, known family, Martha Marston, mother, 59, Blackburn, Alton Marston, father, 61, Blackburn, Tiffany Marston, sibling, 23, Liverpool. Distinguishing features, none. Personality. Subject is described as being gregarious, but otherwise known for keeping to himself, boring and normal. Had no current romantic interests. Note, when subject's parents were notified of his death, neither reacted as might be expected when learning of the death of an immediate family member. Similarity to reactions of civilians involved in SCP-6212 to -1's presence noted. No attempt has been made to contact subject's sister. The subject had no criminal record, nor could anyone who knew him recall any incident in which he was involved that could be considered untoward, reprehensible, or heinous. This is the profile for Dash 2. Name unknown, age unknown, appears to be in his early 60s, gender unknown, assumed male, place of residence unknown, skin color pale, hair color grayish blonde, occupation Anglican minister, assumed. Known family, none. Distinguishing features, no notable physical features present, possibility of intrinsic mimetic hazard. Personality, subject is described as calm, serious, and friendly if somewhat detached. Note, subject matches no known records of pre-serving in the United Kingdom. As of April 20th, 2005, subject has been redesignated to SCP-6212-A. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was SCP-6212 dismissed.